Now at 6, Kansas lawmakers pass a bill to provide rebates to businesses impacted by the coronavirus lockdowns. Plus, a local sheriff's office looks to crack down on drivers not wearing seatbelts ahead of the holiday weekend. And why the Better Business Bureau is giving a Southwest Missouri business an F rating.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
State authorities are investigating a house explosion in CHANUTE, Kansas after a person was found dead in the home. This is KOAM News at 6. The house has been demolished. This is what it looks like now. Firefighters got the call Saturday morning of a fire at 1420 South Evergreen in CHANUTE. Authorities say there was no fire, but one wall of the home had been blown out by an explosion and 3 other exterior walls and the roof were significantly damaged. Crews took precautions to prevent a further collapse of the home, then went in and found the body. They have not yet released the victim's identity. The ATF and State Fire Marshal's office are helping with the investigation. Checking in with Nick Kelly for our first look at the weather.
It was quiet to wrap up the weekend the other day, Dow. Dry for much of the day for most of us, but all this increasing clouds and darkening clouds showing more moisture heading in, and it is resulting in some rain, especially in northeastern parts of Oklahoma. It's trying to make its way over the I-44 corridor, but it's certainly going to do so as we continue to see more moisture, more lift, more energy from our next storm system out west. Up our rain chances as we go throughout the course of the evening, certainly late tonight. Upper 50s to about the mid 60s. That's where we all sit at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. It's going to be a very slow drop in temperatures because of the clouds and the rain chances, only into the middle to upper 50s for tonight. But when we come back for full weather, not only are we talking about below normal temperatures for the next few days, we'll track all the rain and storm chances to come and to see how the weekend, the holiday weekend ahead is shaping up. We'll get to all of this here in a few, Dow.
See you then. On the last day of their session today, Kansas lawmakers in both chambers voted to approve a bill allowing some business owners to receive property tax and rent rebates. The bill would allocate $50 million in federal COVID-19 relief funding to the rebates. Businesses that were forced to shut down during the pandemic would be eligible for up to $5,000 in rebates on property taxes or rent paid during that time. Businesses that received more than $150,000 in COVID relief would not be eligible. The bill now heads to the governor's desk. The national Click It or Ticket campaign is underway this week to help increase enforcement of seatbelt laws. KOAM's Chris Warner has more on the importance of the campaign and how it helps local law enforcement.
Law enforcement agencies across the nation are out this week enforcing seatbelt laws with the Click It or Ticket campaign. That campaign comes with grant money as well, which allows agencies to put more officers out on the roads.
We have deputies that will sign up for the overtime. We'll go out, patrol the roads. We'll try to hit areas that have high accident rates, high traffic incident areas. And we will patrol that area, look for any hazardous moving violations, pull them over. Of course, if you're not wearing your seatbelt, you will get a ticket.
Lieutenant Scott Stanley with the Jasper County Sheriff's Office says it also allows them to patrol for other violations like drinking and driving. Newton County is another agency putting more deputies out on the road. Sheriff Chris Jennings says the campaign is an excellent way to educate drivers on seatbelt safety.
I can't even begin to go over the importance in all my years of law enforcement. I've seen a lot of people die in car wrecks, and a lot of them did not need to die. It's just the stats themselves show seatbelts save lives.
Jennings says there are some things that never get easier.
I tell you, it's really hard, especially with the children. I still see children all the time running around in cars with no seatbelts, standing in seats, one thing or another. It's hard for me to begin to imagine what the parents are thinking.
He adds there's dangers to having some people buckled and others unbuckled.
A lot of people don't realize also that if they're in the passenger with somebody, if the other person has a seatbelt and they don't, they'll do a lot of damage to that individual in a car wreck themselves. So it's important for everybody, not just the driver, but the passengers, everybody to have a seatbelt on.
He's hopeful that people will heed the warning and buckle up every time.
I mean, there's enough death in the world now without unnecessary death added onto it. It is difficult to see and know that quite possibly a seatbelt might have saved that life.
I'm Chris Warner for KOAM News.
Sheriff Jennings says 65% of traffic fatalities in Missouri are among people who are unbuckled. The Humane Society of the United States is out with its Horrible 100 for 2022. The list is an annual report on puppy breeders and dealers that the Humane Society has deemed as problematic because of treatment or living conditions of the animals. This is the 10th year of the report, and like the 9 previous years, Missouri is reported as having the highest number of dealers listed with 26. Kansas has 7 dealers listed. Oklahoma has 1. You can view the report on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The Better Business Bureau is warning consumers about a Southwest Missouri clothing retailer not fulfilling orders. Officials say multiple customers have reported Amara's Apparel, based in Ozark, Missouri, to the BBB for orders not being delivered, not providing refunds, and failing to contact customers. The business sells handmade children's clothing and has received an F rating from the BBB.
Better Business Bureau always reaches out to the company owner. We always reach out every time we get a complaint. Then we reach out when there's a pattern of complaints. So unfortunately, our attempts to reach the business for comment failed, and it did not respond to a Better Business Bureau letter addressing the pattern of consumer complaints.
The Better Business Bureau has a list of tips to shop online safely on their website. That's bbb.org. The city of CHANUTE is warning residents about a scam call going around. Officials say the scammers are telling residents they overpaid their utility bills and are owed a refund. But to send the refund, they say they need the resident's credit card and personal information. The city is not making the calls. They say if you overpaid, the difference is going to show up as a credit on your next bill. Coming up, a local organization shows its support for Joplin Police with a donation. Plus, how an Oklahoma man showed his appreciation of the first responders who saved his life. A local nonprofit today showed their support for the Joplin Police Department. Joplin's Community Support Services of Missouri donated $4,500 to the department. The organization serves people with disabilities and works closely with the police department for assistance when additional support is needed. Officials say they want that close relationship to continue.
I just want the togetherness that we have currently and had, in April and into May to continue forever. You know what I mean? That we don't, it's sad that that needs something so incredibly tragic to bring everybody together. But I think if we keep that at the forefront of our brains and keep going like this, it's going to be amazing.
The money was raised through a spaghetti feed after the tragic shooting in March that left 2 officers dead and another injured. A Bixby, Oklahoma man got to meet the first responders who saved his life after he suffered a heart attack nearly 3 months ago. As Mackenzie Gladney reports, it was a meaningful reunion for everyone involved.
Josh Nave says he had to put off the meeting at Fire Station 2 in Bixby for nearly 3 months so he could be less emotional and better able to thank the people who saved his life. It was 3 a.m. on March 10th when Josh had an emergency.
I went into cardiac arrest, and my wife was just so happened to be awake at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and she looked over and saw that I was in trouble and called 911.
Within minutes, IMSA and firefighters from Bixby Fire Station 2 arrived.
The response time was less than 4 minutes to my front door, which is incredible.
Responders performed CPR and took him to the hospital. Mary Sieber was a paramedic on scene. She says the call was her first to save someone in cardiac arrest.
To know that my training kicked in and that I did what I needed to do and that I can do it, it's awesome. There's no other word for it.
Today was her first time to see Nave after the incident.
There's really no words to describe it. It's just an amazing feeling to get to meet someone that you truly helped save, and to know that him and his family get to be together to this day, and he gets to have a birthday in a few weeks because of it. So it's touching.
Nave says it can be easy to forget how important first responders are.
You kind of take these guys for granted whenever you don't need them.
But when you do need them, it can be the difference between life and death. Nave says it never hurts to show a little gratitude, which is why he bought steaks for the people who saved his life.
Lunch is like the least you could do for a group of guys and ladies who save your life.
Nave has recovered and says he looks forward to a long life thanks to his rescuers.
These are a great group of people, and I couldn't have asked for a better lunch and a better group to saved my life.
A little later, Pitt State's track and field team prepares to compete in the outdoor national championships.
But first, rain wants to stick around for a little bit. We'll see if it can clear out in time for the holiday weekend when we come back. It was nice to keep things dry to at least start the day out, but once we got into the start of the afternoon, and certainly at this point in our Monday evening, early Monday evening, we are starting to see more developing rain and even some thunderstorms trying to sneak out of central and northeastern parts of Oklahoma. But for much of the area north of I-44, we've been keeping things relatively dry as the evening continues to get underway. But if we just pan once again to the south and west, rain continuing to work over our corner of northeastern Oklahoma, but more developing out north central, eastern, and central Oklahoma as our next storm system really starts to kick into gear. And out ahead of the better rain chances to come, look at the counties in the green from 69 west. That is a flood watch until we hit midnight going into Wednesday. So we're going to have to deal with some potentially moderate to heavy rainfall as these rain chances ramp up. But we're dry for now. Plenty of cloud cover though from Lander Chevrolet Cadillac outside the southeast side of Joplin. Looks okay from there and from 7th and Range Line. A lot of clouds, sure, but we're dry at Joplin and at the airport. 61 degrees with an east breeze at 5, humidity at 70%. Underneath the continuing rain and some little thunder showers, upper 50s to near 60, but once you hop north of 44, most of us are mainly in the lower 60s, and we're not dropping off much as we go through the course of the night with plenty of clouds and the rain chances picking up. We'll drop back into the middle to upper 50s for tonight as again, more rain develops out in central Oklahoma in anticipation of our next warm front coming in from the southwest and this broad upper level low, but it's got quite a bit of energy riding along the jet, which is just to the south, which also makes sure that we keep temperatures below normal, along with the clouds and the rain to do their part as well. Here's 11 o'clock. The future track might want to suggest a slight uptick in the coverage of rain chances, but the rain chances want to really ramp up as we go into Tuesday morning. Maybe some breaks at times late Tuesday morning, but we'll continue with periods of rain and some thunderstorms for tomorrow. But with any dry time that we get, we're going to try to get temperatures to respond to that by going from 56 in the morning, 65 by noon, and highs near 68, and even with a southeast breeze trying to kick in during the day at 5 to 15. Everybody should go into the mid to upper 60s despite the clouds, despite these rain chances, which, by the way, will just continue as we go through Tuesday night. But as we go into Wednesday, as the main system passes overhead, we're just going to back things down to scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms as we go into Wednesday. But from this point on, until we get into the start of Wednesday afternoon, look at how much rain we could get out of the storm system so far. 1 to 3 inches, some heavier pockets trying to push maybe up to 4. So it's no wonder some of us are seeing flood watches out. So we need to keep an eye out for any minor flooding concerns until we get the system out of here. It's going to stick around for Thursday, but once we hit the weekend, this system's out of here. Maybe a random chance for a shower or storm going into Saturday and Sunday. But here's Memorial Day, next storm system to the northwest, but we are staying dry as we hit Memorial Day, the unofficial start of summer on Monday. Let's go upper 60s to near 70 tomorrow through Thursday, 77 drying out for Friday, maybe a few, emphasis on maybe a few isolated storms Saturday morning and Sunday morning, Dow, but the bulk of the holiday weekend looking dry and looking warm.
Yeah, we would take that for a holiday weekend in a heartbeat. Sounds pretty good. Thanks, Nick. Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Still ahead, Iola baseball enters the state tournament with momentum, and the Diamond Wildcats aim to make program history competing in the state semifinals today. Danny Terzer has that and more up next.
The Diamond Wildcats take the field today for the Class 2 state semifinals. It's the Wildcats' second straight Final Four appearance. Diamond faces Kennett today. It's a battle tied at 6 in the final inning. The Wildcats walk it off to win 7-6. They make history today. Diamond is headed to the program's first ever state championship. The title game is tomorrow at 10 a.m. against the defending champs, the Skyline. In the Class 1 state semifinal, Jasper meets Holcomb. The Eagles get it done, taking down the Hornets 3-0. Jasper is now 1 win away from its first ever state championship. They'll play Wellington Napoleon for the title tomorrow at noon. Over in Kansas, the Iola Mustangs are headed to the Class 4 state tournament for the first time since 2018 when they won it all. Iola is the 4 seed for the tournament. They will face Ottawa, the 5 seed, in the quarterfinals on Thursday. The Mustangs enter the tournament with some momentum. They're coming off a regional title against the defending Class 3 state champs.
I think we're definitely feeling good about those 2 games. It's how you want to play. You know, leading into the state tournament, they were clean games on our end. We fielded the ball probably the best we fielded all season in those 2 games combined. Offensively, you know, we came out, put together good at bats, and then you know, our pitching was pretty solid. I told the boys we're not going out for just 1 game. You know, we want to make a deep run at state.
Pitt State Track and Field has qualified 29 athletes for this year's NCAA Outdoor National Championship. Blakely Wynn is one of 14 PSU women competing this week. Wynn is ranked 2nd nationally in the heptathlon. She will also race with the Gorillas' 8th-ranked 4x100 meter relay team. Only a freshman, Wynn's career at Pitt State is just getting started.
She's still learning, she's still growing, and it's just fun to watch somebody develop the way she has. She's a special freshman. She doesn't let a whole lot of things get to her. She's focused on what she can control, and that's a great quality to have, and that's why she's done such a great job. She still understands she has a bigger goal in mind of what she wants to accomplish with her time here, and we still got a long way to go.
That's it for sports. We're back after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Eugene Myers served in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1946. The Fredonia, Kansas native was stationed in France and Germany as a gunnery specialist and supply truck driver for the 102nd Division. And we salute Eugene Myers, our 4th state hero. You can learn about lots of other heroes. They're from all across this area, from different eras in our history. Some of them are currently serving service members. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. It's very simple to do. You just go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Going to take you to a bowling event in Joplin raising awareness of drug abuse. Also, we're going to have the latest on Operation Fly Formula, the government's mission to solve the baby formula shortage, and how some clothes are helping combat climate change. That and a lot more coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. What's considered by many as the collector holy grail of comic books, it's sold for a record price at auction. It's a rare 1939 Detective Comics issue that introduces Batman for the first time. It's sold for $1.74 million. There are only 40 copies of the issue known to exist. In the issue, which originally sold for a dime, Batman, or the Batman as he was known then, makes his first ever appearance in print in a story called The Case of the Chemical Syndicate. Yeah, the Batman then becomes Batman, and now the latest movie back to the Batman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Full circle. The weather.
We are looking at rain chances picking up for the next 3 days at the very least. Good rain chances, but despite that, it'll keep us mild in the upper 60s to near 70.
Final sports note.
Liberal baseball is playing in the state sectionals today. We'll have updates on that one at 10.
Look forward to that. Thanks for joining us. See you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.